Oh, good Lord. That's a big fish right there, dude. Oh, jeez. What a beast.
Think fast. Has anybody ever said that to you when you weren't looking and then thrown something in the air? I'm sure they have. And what did you most likely do? You catch whatever it is that's in the air coming at you. You just react. And that's the easiest way I can explain what a reaction strike is from a bass. And in my personal opinion, hey, lots of theories out there, I get that, but in my personal opinion and my philosophy, that's how I fish to get big bites. I feel it's the easiest way to do it. I try to cover a lot of water and get reaction strikes. But there's a few tips that I gotta share with you that are critical to getting a reaction strike. Because the reaction strikes from ambush points are usually when we're fishing to targets we can see, okay? It's a stump, it's a cypress knee, it's a dock piling, it's a big boulder, anything you can see. It's a lot of just throwing a grass point, right? Whatever. But we all know you gotta get close to the target, even ricochet off it, that helps, of course. But sometimes you have very small windows, very small windows, because if your buddy threw the ball to you and said, think fast, and he misses you by six feet, you're not going to instinctively take off and run to go catch it. You're only gonna react if it comes at you and hits you. That's what's happening with the bass. And a lot of times their strike zones for this is so small. It could be the opening of a culvert. You gotta bring your bait right by. It could be you know, a very small root ball or a boulder that's right on the bank and they're just tucked in there. But a boulder could be, you know, just this big, or a root ball could be just this big. And if you land your bait here and you're pulling it this way, right? This is 6 inches of, this is the strike zone. This is the window of the width of that boulder they're hiding under in that shade to ambush or just to be chilling. And then of course, hopefully react on your bait. But if this is the strike zone and you're over here and you cast and your bait lands here, you just had 6 inches of potential strike zone with a fast moving bait to get it to react. You really want to have your bait hit here, take this entire, you know, almost 2 feet, and give them as much time possible to react, because again, you're using fast moving single hook baits in this technique. This is chatterbait, it's swim jig, spinner bait, maybe a swim bait, something like that. It's fast, it's to get a reaction, cover water, that's it. So here's what you do. If this is a tree trunk right here, or this is the bank, let's say it's a tree trunk and coming out to a root ball, and you think the fish are hiding on a root ball that's this wide. And once you get past here, that's open water, that's back to the boat, you're not gonna get a reaction strike there. That's a hunger strike, could happen, but not a reaction strike. So you wanna cover this swath, right? So what you do, most people, they try to make a perfect cast to land right here in the water. But this is like a nice big tree trunk like I'm sitting on right here, nice big tree trunk. Here's the tip, guys. Throw it over that tree trunk. Let's say there's not really any water on the other side, hardly any water, any depth, so you just wanna get it over that tree trunk. On the tree trunk, doesn't matter. Your swim jig, your chatterbait will sit there. If not, you just pull it up and over, and it's sitting right on the log. And you take a deep breath, you get ready, you do whatever you have to do, and then you just pull. You control the splash. It's a very natural entry. You pull it in, you're gonna get the maximum amount of distance because you're gonna barely pull it where it falls right here. And immediately wind and burn it right past that root ball or that boulder. Now, if it's a boulder that's on the bank, guys, that's where you throw it on the bank. Hit the bank, and I promise you, you're not gonna get hung up as much as you think, because you're not going to be setting the hook into the bank, to any like sticks or vines on the bank. You don't do that. If you get hung up at all, you just shake your rod tip. As long as you don't set it, you'll be okay. The last part of this tip, if there's structure that's more out in open water and you can throw well past it, you always want to throw well past your target. A couple reasons. One, throw way past the target. Let's say it's a cypress tree with a bunch of awesome looking knees. Throw way past it. Now you can guide it with your rod, guide it to come by that tree and those cypress knees the exact spot you want it to. And if it's a boulder, you can throw over that boulder and get your line and your rod positioned perfectly where that line is coming and touching the boulder, ensuring that your bait is going to ricochet off the boulder or stump, whatever. So there's a lot of benefits to throwing way past your target in open water to getting that reaction strike, to really position it right where you want. Guys, I promise you, if you think fast, you're gonna get more bites on the reaction and catch some big bass.